सर्व विघ्न विनाशक श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त श्रमणी से प्रहलाद महाराज की। हरे कृष्णा। अभी यहाँ पर भगवत गीता में प्रवचन होगा, अंग्रेजी में क्लास होगी 7:30 to 8:30, 7:30 बजे से 8 बजे 8:30 बजे तक। हरे कृष्णा। दोज हु वांट टू लिसन क्लास, देयर विल क्लास हियर ऑन भगवत गीता फ्रॉम 7:30 to 8:30 PM, so please be kindly seated. हरे कृष्णा।
कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. जय कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are discussing today Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, chapters entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized. Text number 72. 72 is the last shloka of this chapter. Esha brahmi siti partha nainam prapya vimuhyati sthitva syamanta kalepi brahma nirvana mricchati. That is the way of the spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One can attain Krishna consciousness or divine life at once, within a second. Or one may not attain such a state of life even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. Khatwang Maharaj attained this state of life just a few minutes before his death by surrendering unto Krishna. Nirvana means ending the process of materialistic life. According to Buddhist philosophy, there is only void after the completion of this material life. But Bhagavad Gita teaches differently. Actual life begins after the completion of this material life. For the gross materialist, it is sufficient to know that one has to end this materialistic way of life. But for persons who are spiritually advanced, there is another life after this materialistic life. Before ending this life, if one fortunately becomes Krishna conscious, he at once attains the stage of Brahma Nirvana. There is no difference between the kingdom of God and the devotional service of the Lord. Since both of them are on the absolute plane, to be engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord is to have attained the spiritual kingdom. In the material world, there are activities of sense gratification, whereas in the spiritual world, there are activities of Krishna consciousness. Attainment of Krishna consciousness, even during this life, is immediate. Immediate attainment of Brahman. And one who is situated in Krishna consciousness has certainly already entered into the kingdom of God. Brahman is just the opposite of matter. Therefore, Brahmi Sthiti means not on the platform of material activities. Devotion and service of the Lord is accepted in the Bhagavad Gita as the liberated stage. Sagunan samati tyaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Therefore, Brahmi Sthiti is liberation from material bondage. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has summarized this second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita as being the contents of the whole text. In the Bhagavad Gita, the subject matters are Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. In the second chapter, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga have been clearly discussed, and a glimpse of Bhakti Yoga has also been given as the contents of the whole for the complete text. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its contents. So this is the last verse of this summary study of the Gita. Sankhya Yogo Nama Dvitiyo Dhyayaha. So in this shloka, Krishna is saying, Esha Brahmi Sthiti. O Parth, Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati. One who is situated in this Brahmi Sthiti. And such a person is not bewildered. Na vimuhyati. Is not bewildered. Sthitva asyam. If one is situated in this, even at the time of death, antakalepi, then Brahma Nirvana Mrichyati. One attains the stage of liberation, the spiritual kingdom of God. So here we find Krishna is now giving a glimpse of the Bhakti Yoga element. Everything is covered here in this chapter. Until now, until a few verses back, Krishna was talking about Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Towards the end of the chapter, Krishna is giving a glimpse of the Bhakti element. So ultimately, why do we do karma? Why do we want to attain Jnana? So that my devotion to Krishna, my devotion to God is awakened. Without that devotion, karma is simply a laborious task and Jnana is simply a burden on the head. Ultimately, all knowledge should lead to devotion. So Krishna is talking about this. One is not bewildered if one is situated in this Brahmi Sthiti. Not bewildered by any material dualities, any material situation. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau. Whether you are situated in sukh or dukh, whether you have profit or loss, victory or defeat, same kritva. One is equipoised, not bewildered. But that can happen only if one is situated in Brahmi Sthiti, in the spiritual platform. But if such a person is situated on this platform, antakalepi, even at the time of death, if one can maintain this state of mind, then Brahma Nirvana Mrichyati. So, several times you find in the Gita Krishna talking about the importance of Antakal, the last moment of death. So, all life is important, every moment of life is important, but the moment of life at the time of death is most important. Why? Why so much emphasis to the moment of death? It's like in a college, the student is studying. Every moment spent in the classroom is important. You are gaining knowledge, right? You are hearing classes, writing exams, writing assignments, going on a practicals, going on an industrial visit. Everything is important. But when is your knowledge tested? At the last moment of exam. Again. You attend all classes, but you miss the exam. Then you don't get the certificate, you don't get the degree. Right? Even if you miss certain classes, but you attend the exam, still you can get the degree. So therefore, the last moment is important. Because that is the time when we are evaluated, we are tested. How has this person lived his life? How has the student prepared for the exam? That preparation is tested at the time of death. So therefore, Antakalepi, this last moment of death is very important. In the Gita, later also in the 8th chapter, Krishna says, Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. One who remembers me at the time of death, Antakale, Antakale chamameva smaran, one who remembers me and gives up the body, muktva kalevaram, ya prayati samadbhavam, such a person attains my abode. Na samshaya, there is no doubt about this. So therefore, this moment of death is highly emphasized. But moment of death can be properly utilized only if we have lived the whole life properly. Only the student is prepared nicely throughout his semester. Then he can give the exam nicely. Right? If the whole semester he is simply playing around, watching movies and doing all kinds of entertainment, then it is difficult or impossible to give the exam properly. So therefore, this importance is given. Live a life in a spiritually centered way, then one can maintain a spiritual consciousness at the time of death. And the Bhagavatam gives several stories. In the purport, Prabhupada talks about the person Khatwanga Maharaj. Khatwanga Maharaj was a great king who was very powerful. And one time the Devatas in the higher planetary system, they requested him to come there and assist them in a fight with Asuras, demons. So Khatwanga Maharaj went and he fought on the side of Devatas, assisted them nicely. It was a long battle for a long time, and everything got over. Finally, the war was over, and the Devatas thanked Khatwanga. Thank you so much. You sacrificed your family, everything, your kingdom, and came to assist us, because of which we were able to fight nicely, become successful. What blessing would you like to have? We would like to give you something, gift. What gift or blessing you would like to have? So the king said, he thought about for a moment and he said, please let me know how much time I am going to live more. How much more life do I have? So they calculated and they said, only a few moments. Few moments left. So he said, let me make the best use of this moment. Immediately came down on earth and focused his mind on the form of the Supreme Lord. In full devotional consciousness, he left his body. So he didn't have time to prepare. But the moment he got to know, I have only a few minutes left, he prepared his mindset and consciousness and made his life successful. So whether you have few moments or someone may have long life, still not become successful to focus his mind on Krishna. So therefore, training is essential. In the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the story of Ajamil. Ajamil was born in a very nice, cultured family and had a good training, good samskars, very pious family. He would do puja, worship, all kinds of devotional activities, spiritual activities. But somehow he got distracted. He deviated from his pious life and he became a very sinful person. He married a prostitute and he kicked out his wife, kicked out his elderly parents, and he lived a very sinful life. And in this way, he lived all his life by stealing, robbing, all kinds of crime. And all his life went away like this. And then the time of death came. The Bhagavatam talks about the time of death. Antakal. What happens at the time of death? So Antakal came and he saw, he was lying on his deathbed and he saw 3 dangerous, horrible looking people. Who are they? Yamadut. Yamadutas. Messengers of death. Nowadays when we talk about Yamadutas, people think ये सब काल्पनिक है. सब आप लोग डराने के लिए बताते हैं. So that we live nice, pious, moral, ethical life. Therefore you create all these Yamadutas. ऐसा कुछ है नहीं असलियत में. डरा के बिठाते आप लोग. सही करो, गलत मत करो. But the Bhagavatam talks about Yamadutas and their features are described. How they look. Darkish complexion, coppery, red eyes, horrible features. People get scared. So Ajamil saw 3 of them standing in front of him, waiting to capture him. So he got scared, naturally. Again. So what did he do? He loudly called out his son's name, Narayan. Fortunately, he had named his son Narayan, his youngest son, Narayan. That also happened by divine grace. Some sadhus had come to his place when this child was born. And he asked them, what should I name this child? They said Narayan. They saw his life, very sinful life. कुछ तो पुण्य काम होना चाहिए इसके जीवन में. फिर नारायण नाम दे दिया बच्चे को. So he would call out Narayan, Narayan, Narayan every time. So when these Yamadutas came and he saw them, out of fear, he called out, Narayan, Narayan. So 3 Yamadutas. Why 3? Karmana manasa vacha, by bodily activities, mental activities and words. One performs sinful activities. One can commit sin through any of these. Through mind, through words, through our actions, physical actions. So usually everyone commits all 3. Therefore, these three Yamadutas come to carry us. So when he called out Narayan, another set of people came, the Vishnu Dutas. Very bright, beautiful looking features, very cheerful appearance. And so Ajamil saw them also, both of them standing in front of him. And Ajamil sees these two people are discussing something. They are having a conversation. So Vishnu Dutas threaten the Yamadutas. Hey, how dare you carry this person? He is a very pious person, very punyavan. You cannot carry him to hell. So Yamadutas are like taken aback. He is a pious person. पूरा जीवन भर पाप ही किया है, चोरी डकैती सब कुछ किया है, और बोल रहे ये पुण्यवान है. And who are you? They question. And do you know his history? And then they start describing, this is what he has done throughout his life. And he deserves to go to hell. But then Yamaduta said, Vishnu said, no, this is not proper. So the whole Bhagavatam describes a conversation between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas. Yamadutas are trying to justify why Ajamil deserves to go to hell and get punishment. And they give a lot of reasons. How one is judged. How do you judge someone and decide his destination? So they say, first is our crime. What kind of crime he has done? What kind of activities he has done? Is pap or punya? So how do you define what is pap, what is punya? Just like in our society, how do you decide someone is a criminal or not? If someone obeys the government, then he is a nice citizen. If someone disobeys the government, he is a criminal. Anyone who obeys government law is good. Anyone who disobeys government law is bad. Traffic signal break कर दिया, चोरी कर दिया, कोई law तोड़ दिया, he is a criminal. Similarly, the Yamadutas say, anyone who follows Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki. A criminal is one who disobeys the Vedic statements. And a punyavan vyakti is one who follows the Vedic laws. So Vedic statements are the guidelines. People following Vedas are punyavan. People who disobey them are papi. So this Ajamil has broken all Vedic injunctions. Naturally, he is a papi. So in a Vedic culture, Shastra is taken as a guideline. And people are expected to be aware of Shastric statements. That's education. Education means make people aware of what is pap and punya. What are the Vedic statements, regulations, breaking which you get punishment, following which you get elevation. And in today's time we find this education is missing. People don't accept the Vedic statements. People don't believe in heaven or hell. Right? Where is heaven? Show me heaven or hell. So people don't believe, most of us. We have a hard time believing such a thing exists or not. I decide my laws. I follow what I want. I define what is good or bad. No one else can decide what is good or bad. So in this way, people are unaware. Therefore, Kali Yuga, especially this age, people are breaking all principles. Violence, adultery, intoxication, gambling, all kinds of principles are broken. Not caring what the reaction is. We don't fear the reaction, but we don't believe them. If a criminal, a thief, he doesn't believe the existence of police, तो कुछ भी करते बैठेगा ना, चोरी का हमेशा करते रहेगा. But the moment he understands, oh, police and the punishment inside jail, then he will be careful. If the fear is missing, then all kinds of activities. Similarly, people who don't believe in hell and punishment and Vedic statements, they don't care to act anyhow. So Yamadutas say, this is how we evaluate what is crime or what is not. So Ajamilis had done crime. And then who is a criminal? Who are the people to be judged? Can we give punishment to anyone? Who are the living entities who will be classified as criminals? So they say, only human beings. Human beings. If an animal does a crime, if a dog bites you, or if a cow hits you, a bull hits you, if a wild animal eats a human being, they don't get the punishment, right? If a dog breaks a traffic signal, he won't get punished. ऐसे कैसे यार दिखा नहीं red signal? We won't say that. But humans get the punishment. So, therefore, human life is a life of responsibility. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Labdhva sudurlabhamidam bahusambhavante manushya marthadam anityam apiha dhiraha. This human life is obtained after a long, bahusambhavante, after a long series of life, millions of life. Manushya marthadam. This human life is arthadam, precious, full of meaning and value. Although anityam, although temporary, it has a lot of potential. Therefore, turnam yateta napade anumrityu yavan. One should utilize every moment of this life and not fall from his position. Anumrityu, again, until the last time of death. Until the time of death. Antakalepi. Nishreyasa. And work, human beings should work for Nishreyas, for the highest benefit, highest success. And not waste time for Vishaya Khalu Sarvatasya. Not waste time in petty sense gratification. Vishaya is sense gratification. Sarvatasya, this is available everywhere, even for lower animals. Satisfying our senses and the pleasure of the senses is available for everyone. If human being also does the same thing, then what is the gain? Human beings with a higher potential are expected to work for Nishreyas, for the highest benefit of oneself and for everyone else. Therefore, when human beings misuse their freedom, they get punishment. With higher powers, you get higher responsibility. With higher gifts, you get higher responsibility. So why humans only are punished? Because they have been given a higher responsibility. Animals are not punished because they are not given responsibility. Animals are living based on instincts. If they see something, eat, smell something, if they like something, they will try to enjoy. Like most animals or birds, they are looking for food. How do you tempt them? With food, right? Dog or a cat. We give some food and try to attract them. Because they are always tempted by food. So it's all based on instincts. They can't think, oh, whether it is good or bad. But humans are given the intelligence to think, do I really need this? Do I really need this enjoyment and pleasure? Is there something higher than this form of pleasure? Is there more to life than simply enjoying these pleasures? So therefore, Yamadutas say, humans are liable to be punished. Then evidence. What is the evidence? How do you get the evidence? So evidence for the crime is suffering. Suffering in this world. If someone is going through any dukkha, pain, that shows that we have done something wrong, some crime. Otherwise, why there is pain? People ask this question. Why bad things happen to us? Why there is evil in this world? Why there is so much suffering in this world? Because there is crime. And Prabhupada said in one place, in the Gita he writes, war and killing will go on as long as humans kill animals. When we give pain to animals or anyone else, we get the reaction. So there is mass killing in slaughterhouses, then there is mass killing of human beings in the form of war, in the form of natural calamities. It's just a reaction. Every action is a reaction. Right? We give pain to other living entities, that pain will come back to us in some form or the other. And no amount of attempts to solve the problem will give a solution. Well, the reaction has to get over. So, as long as there is pain, we should understand there is a past, there is some crime, there is some wrong action done, paap done, and that paap is now giving us a reaction. In the Gita, Krishna says, Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This world is designed to give us pain. Dukkha. Dukkhalaya. And ashashvatam. Temporary. So in such a place, if a place is dukkhalaya, to expect sukh is foolishness. We may get some sukh, a little bit, but overall the place is designed to give us dukh. Dukkhalaya. So why? So what to do? Should we just keep on suffering all the time? So dukkha indicates that we are not meant to stay in this world. Just like if I put my hand in the fan, if a child puts its hand in the fan, there is pain. And the child will immediately pull the hand out. You put a hand in fan or fire or any hard object. When there is pain, we pull out. If pain is not there, then we won't pull the hand out. And the hand will continue to get destroyed, damaged. Right? Burn. With an electric shock, we pull out. So pain is essential to protect ourselves. Similarly, pain in this material world should help us pull out of the material world. We should not, the attempt to solve the problem here is temporary. Ultimately, the pain is indicating that this is not our place to stay. Pull out. There is another place where there is no pain, which is free from dukkha and temporariness. That is a lesson we should learn, just like the child pulling out. So human life is meant to inquire about that place where there is no pain. Nirmana moha, Nirmana moha, jita sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya vinivritta kam. Dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sampnir gacchantya mudha padam avyayam tat. Padam avyayam, there is a higher world. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. A place free from all this moha, illusion. So therefore, we should take suffering positively. Whatever basic attempts we need to solve, get rid of the pain, we do. We fall sick, take some medicine, we get some pain, hand fracture or something, accident. Whatever temporary measures we have to do, we do that. At the same time, we have to understand this is not my place. I belong to some other place. Often this world is compared to a jail. Durga. Durga means jail. And in a jail, what do you expect? You expect pain, suffering, difficulties. Right? That's why prisoners are put into jail. If the prisoner demands, अरे यहाँ पे AC नहीं है, TV नहीं है, इंटरनेट वाईफाई का कनेक्टिविटी नहीं है, then why did you come here? If this is what you wanted, right? If you want facilities, then go outside the jail, not inside the jail. So therefore, the Shastras motivate us to look for, search for that place which is beyond the effects of pain. Yamadutas continue. Who is the witness? Witnesses, they give a lot of witness. The sun, fire, sky, air, devatas, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and the super soul. 13 witnesses. All are witnessing our actions. So if you think no one is watching me, I can chupke, I can do something. Somewhere inside a room, in dark. No, someone is watching. Moon, evening, day, night. Night is, day and night कुछ छोड़ के कौन जा सकता है? Evening भी आ गया उसमें. Super soul is there who is accompanying. Sarvasya chaham hradi sannivishto. So these are the witnesses. We can never say, I did anything and no one watched, no one saw me. Then what is the operation? How is a crime done? A crime is done by accepting a material body. The body becomes a vehicle to perform the pap, crime. So with the material body, we indulge in all kinds of sense gratification. Like the other day, Gauram Prabhu was giving this example of a person dreaming. So in a dream, you see many things, good and bad things. So someone is dreaming and he sees, I have started a business, small business, and it is growing, growing, and in a few years it has become a very multi-million-dollar company with operations all over the world. सब सपने में है. It's growing, and I have become a millionaire, a billionaire. And then you're the richest man. You have gaadi, bangla, sab kuch hai, and you're enjoying life. And then something happens in the dream. Something happens, you start losing business. And then you go through losses. Finally, everything is lost. And you are like a beggar on the street. All in the dream. And then you wake up. Or in the dream, before waking up, you are crying. Oh my God, I've lost everything. Nothing, I don't have nothing now. I have no house, no money, no vehicles, no car, nothing. I am a beggar on the street. You're crying out. So someone is sleeping next to you. He is wondering, so क्या हो गया भाई? क्यों रो रहा है? क्यों चिल्ला रहा है? So he can't enter into the dream, right? The person next to you, he can't enter into the dream and help you. Don't worry, be positive. ऐसा तो नहीं बोल सकता ना ड्रीम के अंदर आके. So what he has to do? He has to wake him up, shake him up, wake him up, and then the dream disappears. And then he is happy. And he wonders, अरे इतना बड़ा सपना, अच्छा सपना था, millionaire, billionaire. I enjoyed life. I went on a vacation to all places. And then I went through losses. I suffered. So what is the value of enjoyment and suffering inside the dream? No value. Right? Both are dreams. So it has no value. What is reality? Reality is outside the dream. So someone who is in a dream state, he needs to be woken up. Either with an alarm clock or by someone who is awake. Otherwise, the suffering and enjoyment inside the dream is useless. So our Shastras explain, someone who has accepted a material body, all the experiences that we go through, happiness ka ho ya suffering ka ho, these experiences are like a dream. It has no value. Someone may be enjoying, I am doing this, I have accomplished this, I am enjoying this, and someone else who is suffering. Both are worthless. Why? Because we are not the body. And whatever enjoyment and suffering we are going through is based on the body. Bodily enjoyments and bodily suffering both are worthless from the point of view of the soul. Atma ke star par both are illusion. So therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes a nice song. He says, Bhuliya tomare samsare asiya, pe nana vidha vyatha, tomara charane asiya chiyami, boli wo dukher katha. This is Bengali. Bhuliya tomare, आपको भूलकर, samsare asiya, मैं पूरे संसार में घूम रहा हूँ. Pe nana vidha vyatha. I am going through all kinds of vyatha, sufferings. Tomara charane asiyachi. I mean, now I am coming to your lotus feet. Bolivo dukkher, and trying to explain to you my suffering. Let me come out of the suffering by your grace. I now approach your lotus feet and submit my petition. So in this way, we go through all kinds of experiences. Vayo Rivaganavali. Krishna says, just like the mind carries aroma of different items, flowers ka ho ya gutter ka ho, the mind will carry. Similarly, the soul also carries impressions, good and bad impressions, and keeps traveling all over the universe in different material bodies. Sometimes the higher planetary systems, sometimes the lower planetary system, sometimes on Earth, middle planetary system. We are just accumulating experiences and impressions and traveling all over the material world in different species of life. Nothing of which is reality. But there is one advantage. In this dream called human dream, this is also a dream, right? Human experience is also a part of a dream. As long as we don't revive our relationship with Krishna, even the human experience is a dream. But the advantage of human dream is there is an opportunity to break the dream. We can break this dream. This life affords us the opportunity. Therefore, our scriptures tell, Are, Utteshta Jagrata, Prapya Varan Nibodhatha. Now that you have got a human birth, Utteshta, wake up. Jagrata, Prapya Varan Nibodhatha. Now that you have obtained this blessing of human life, attain, follow the highest goal. So in this way, the more deeper our sleep and dream, if the dream is long and sleep is deep, then you need a stronger alarm. है कि नहीं? हल्का सा अलार्म से उठता नहीं हो, जगता नहीं हो. लंबा खींचना पड़ता है, जोर का अलार्म बजाना पड़ता है, कोई जोर से धक्का मारना पड़ता है, पानी डालना पड़ता है, क्या क्या नहीं करना पड़ता है इसको जगाने के लिए. तब जाकर उड़ जाएगा. Therefore, in this human life, because we have lived a long life of so many dreams, life after life, we need a much more powerful method to wake up. That's what Lord Chaitanya has come to give. Harer Naam, Harer Nameva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. This is like that sound, alarm. When repeated constantly, when attentively heard, that vibration, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, when we hear this names of Krishna repeatedly, attentively, it has the potential to break the dream and wake us up to reality. Therefore, Kirtaniya Sadahari, one has to repeatedly hear, vibrate this sound and hear. So gradually wake up to reality. जैसे अलार्म बजता है तो नींद चालू है, सपना भी चालू है, लेकिन कुछ तो बैकग्राउंड में चल रहा है कि नहीं? Disturbance. Both we are like partially in the dream, partially awake. Then after a long time, the dream breaks. Therefore, similarly, the holy name also works like that. We have experience of where dream is continuing, but some glimpses of reality we get. As long as we are attentive to these messages, attentive to the sound vibration. Occasionally we get a glimpse, oh, this is a dream, that is real, that is real. That. Again we fall into the dream. Again we go back. Finally one day, broken. Dream is broken. And then we are liberated. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya says, Bhajanera madhye shrestha navavidha bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare mahashakti. Among all forms of sadhana, navavidha bhakti, the 9 forms of navavidha, 9 limbs of devotion are very powerful. Shrestha, Bhajanera shrestha madhye. And Taramadhi, among the 9 forms of devotion, Taramadhi Sarva Shrestha Nama Sankirtan. Nama Sankirtan is the best, the most powerful among all the 9. Niraparadhi Nama Laile Paye Premadhan. And if we do it offenselessly, with proper attention and respect, Paye Premadhan, we will get love of Krishna, which is the highest form of liberation. So in this way, Yamadutas are continuing. Then finally they say, what is judgment? Who is the one who is going to judge the criminal? That is Yamaraj. Yamaraj is the one who will give the final verdict. This is a criminal and this is the punishment. We are his messengers. We are simply carrying the criminal. And Yamadutas never commit a mistake. They don't accidentally go to someone else and catch him. They always have the right target. They come to the right person, catch the right person at the right time, and then they will carry. So Ajamil ke paas bhi aaya, it is not a mistake. So yeah, Vishnus are questioning, Hare, how can you take this person? He is a pious man, very sacred person. So Yamaduta is saying, we never commit a mistake. We have come to the right person. And then they talk about punishment. What kind of punishment he is awaiting? The Bhagavatam talks about hell. 28 types of hell. The 5th canto talks about hell. What punishment will take you to which hell? For this punishment, this sin, this punishment. For this particular sin, this punishment. That particular sin, that punishment. And everything has different environmental conditions, atmospheric conditions are given of that hellish planet. And how the criminal suffers in that situation. Initially he suffers, then he gets used to it. So hell, judgment. And finally they talk about the solution. The Bhagavatam talks about the solution. What is the solution? So only when a dreaming living entity, bewildered living entity, comes in touch with Krishna, Esha prakriti sangena purushasya viparyayaha asit sa eva nachirad Isha sangad viliyate. This bewilderment of the living entity who is now in a very awkward position in the material world. For the soul, material world is a very awkward position. He wants to enjoy, but the world doesn't allow him to enjoy fully. That's the awkward condition. And such a person, when he associates with the Supreme Lord or his devotee, then he can, Isha Sangad Viliyate, this dream will vanish and he will come to his real position. So in this way, coming back to the Gita, Krishna says, Brahmi siti sitvasyam antakalepi brahma nirvana mrachati. So this state of consciousness one has to maintain until antakale, until the last moment of life. Then brahma nirvanam rachati. Then he can enter into eternal happiness, eternal life. So in this way Krishna concludes chapter 2. He summarized it by talking about the Sthita Pragya, a yogi who is serious about advancing in spiritual life. He controls his senses, doesn't get distracted, very careful, very watchful of temptations and allurements, and steadfastly continues on the path. And finally, Brahmi Siti, he maintains his life throughout, and at the last moment of his life, he fixes his consciousness and attains perfection. So next, Krishna will begin chapter 3 with Arjun's question. Arjuna asks a question. He gets a doubt. After hearing the whole summary, he gets a question. That's how the 3rd chapter begins. So we'll stop here. Any question, comment anyone has?
Hello. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, it was for the last 1 year, this entire process of, discourse was excellent. And we learnt about various munis and various Devi Devatas. In your last discourse, you mentioned about one king who had many wives, but he did not have children. But if you go back to the Mahabharata's 2 kings, Pandu as well as the Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra had one wife, Gandhari, but he had 100 children. Whereas Pandu had 2 wives, he had 5 children. Of course, Karna is a different whole story. My request is that, did this both the kings produce any sisters for those brothers? 100 Kauravas as well as 5 Pandavas. They did not have any sisters. Was this a divine obstruction? Because if you look at because both Ramayana as well as Mahabharata has women centric. Sita as well as Draupadi. they were unjustified, both the ways. But if I am saying if there was...
Kauravas had one sister, her name was Dushala.
Okay.
One daughter had, Dhritarashtra had. So Pandu didn't have.
So that's...
So one daughter is there. So that doesn't really mean that this is anti-women or anti-male centric. The whole story is centered on Draupadi, right? So that is women centric. If women feel they are being isolated, and Draupadi is the center of the whole story. The Mahabharata war happened to protect the dignity of Draupadi. Ramayana happened to protect the dignity of Sita. So that way, this is not a conclusion, proper conclusion. Okay, Hare Krishna.